Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Grayman Prepping. Are you ready for the day? It's Survival Saturday. And so tonight's topic is going to be rope work. Know your knots. And there I am. How's everybody doing out there? All right, let me get over here and go down the list here and say hi to everybody. All right, first one in was Walt Rogers, and Walt had problems because he called me and he wanted to make sure something went in right, and it didn't. I'll show you what the difference was here in a second. Next in was Phelan Klein Wolf, then Rebel Canners. This is what Walt put in, except instead of and do some calf roping, he put in and time to lasso them up and hog tie them, and the AI went absolutely ballistic and just blocked it. Didn't even give me a chance to block it or approve it. Just totally, oh, you can't say hog tie. Hog tie, hog tie, hog tie. Yeah. All right. Next one in was Tammy Harder, then CB at Hugo Homestead. Geeky Gardens came in. Glenn How to Garden. Oh, Phelan's Crew 1351's ready to tie knots. Okay. And Crew is I'll get to Crew in a little bit here. And he's been a member for 24 months of the he's a survivalist level member. All right, Butch Graves is here. Diana 2 is here. It's the Marshmallow Man is here, and I'm caught up, I think. Okay. And getting everyone else is going live, and I'm getting all these pop-ups. You know, so and so's live, so and so's live. All righty, get this one out over there. Okay. So Boy Scouts, there are three types of Boy Scouts. There is the regular Boy Scouts, which is age 11 to 18th birthday, or 10 and a half if they've earned their Order of the Arrow. Not Order of Arrow of Light, sorry, Arrow of Light. You come in at 10 and a half. Varsity Scouts is age 12 to 18 to 18th birthday. Varsity Scouts is age 14 to 21st birthday. Varsity Scouts, Venture Scouts, yeah. And Lewis has done it again. Lewis has gifted 5 memberships, and let's see. All right, it's gone out to Happy Mac, Teresa Buchanan, Tennessee Tactical 1, Stellar Outdoors, and Nursing Student. And if you ever want to get if you don't not a member, you want to get a free membership when someone does something like this, you got to, I guess you can click, if you can click on this thing there, or right click or something to accept gifts, or go down into bottom to the, depending on what type of internet program you have. You can go down and click on the little $ down below the comments there, and you can go and you fiddle around it to accept gifts. And then when someone gifts something, then you can accept and you can get into the rotation on getting a gift there. All righty. So there are a lot of knots, and some of the knots have different names for the same knot. What example of the one here is this tiller's hitch. That's also called a sheet shank, whereas this one up here is a sheep shank. A sheet shank is also called a sail knot as well, because the sails are called the sheets, and it's a way to use the red one. There would be you take the sail, you roll it up, twist it over, and you tie the thing on it. And that other little tail right there is a quick release. So anyways, so some of them have different ones. The hitching tie knot up here does not look like any hitching tie I've seen any cowboy ever use. And yeah, so there's several of them that just have different type of names on them. Someone's trying to be fancy on them, but there's some basic ones, and we'll cover some of those in the things, but we're going to talk about all the fun things you can do with rope and knots as well. All right, and so we're over. Okay, everyone should be coming in. Everyone should have gotten the notification now, unless, of course, um, the platform is going, oh, he's teaching real important stuff. We better not send out notifications and let everybody know about it. All right, so let's go over here, and we're going to go through things here. And so, oh, there are a lot of things to do with rope. Now, if you take a good look at this picture, you're going to realize, wait a minute, that's a weaving with rope. And that is a mat that was woven with rope and tied and stuff. So basically, they kind of they did more like lashings and knots on it, but it's still tied in with knots. I've been trying to shut a square knot. Okay. Well, I'll show the difference between a square knot and a thief's knot. Very important to know the difference. And Mother Earth Garden Club is here. I got some magic tricks to show you too with knots. Okay, so different types of knots here, different ones, different bites, and different things on them. In this here, there is one knot here that is called the King of Knots. And I'll give you a hint, there's no orange in it. It's the one here in the middle. It has the loop over here on the left-hand side here. That is a bowline. That's called the King of Knots. And I will show you how I will do one too here. It's been, oh geez, 8 years since I've tied a bowline behind my back. So basically, it's like being blindfolded when I do it behind my back. And I figured, I didn't have a chance to practice. I had all the friggin' grandsons over here today, in and out, in and out, in and out. I love them, but sometimes it's just like I want to tie them up with knots. All right. In Scouts, using all the knots and wrapping the rope around stuff is called lashings. Using knots and lashings, Scouts are expected to build things. And sailors build things. And pile butts build things. Although the pile butts use steel cables to do it with. But these are some examples of things that Scouts have made, drawings of things Scouts have made at camp. And to do it, and it's all done with knots, different knots, and running ropes certain ways before you tie the knots off. And yes, I've seen Scouts make stuff like this, where they set up, make a table out of branches and stuff, and benches, and make fun stuff. And usually it takes them about, if they all decide to work on it together right off the bat, it takes them about a day, or half a day to get this done. Usually the first day we're in camp. And there's what one looks like for real. And anybody wondering, that hammer in there is called a blacksmith hammer. I got that. All right. Yeah, so they tie things up, and they also ran this rope across the top, goes off the sides down to stakes on either side to give it stability as well. But fun things you can do with knots. And fun. And if you're out doing primitive camping and stuff, and you don't want to sit on a log, you can make yourself a chair or a hammock. And so they're making and transporting a watchtower they built. And the emblem in the middle here, that is the pioneering merit badge emblem for completing stuff to get the pioneering merit badge. Let's see. Yes, Scouts make amazingly crazy things with knots and rope and do all sorts of weird stuff. And I've seen structures like this that looks like it's overloaded with Scouts. And they will make entrances to the campground. Sometimes they'll leave it up for the next, first troop in the beginning of summer. We'll start something, and by the end of the summer, I mean, there's this massive structure there, and generally the camp will leave it because the next year, generally, these Scouts will come back to the exact same campsite. They reserve the same campsite, and they'll build it, and they'll add to it, and they'll add to it. There was one that looked like a complete. It had a complete wall around it that they had built with the walkway up on the top by the parapet. They were going all the way around it, and by 3 years, they had this massive thing on it. They had several doors in it, built in it, gates that would open and close, and it was absolutely hilarious. KP Heathen, welcome. Am I missing people here? Okay, all right, there we go. So there are a lot of things you can do with the ropes. Like I said, Scouts will do amazing things in a couple days with ropes. And then they'll have water balloon wars or something like this. There's one that's a little bit more intensely done. And actually, this was not Boy Scouts. This was the Boy Scout. This is the Venture Crew, which is the ones that are 14 to 21. Once you hit your 21st birthday, you're out as a crew member, but you can come back as an advisor, an adult advisor. Yeah. And they do also they'll do weekend things for multiple troops getting together, and they'll have a contest and stuff, and they'll build obstacle courses and give challenges of crossing, who can build the coolest thing to cross the creek there, the dry creek. Several years ago, 2007, when they were experimenting in having co-ed Boy Scout troops, or having a troop sponsor two troops. So basically, it would be Troop 1351 would have an all-boy troop and an all-girl troop. They would meet together for the main meetings, and they'd break apart to do stuff. They would camp in separate campsites, but we had a full troop of girls, because the Girl Scouts don't do this stuff, and these girls wanted to do this stuff, and it was amazing. And then once the girls turned 14, off to the crew. Yeah. I almost put my Scout Master's uniform on, but I'm looking around trying. All right, where's my neckerchief? Where's my neckerchief? And just as before we started, I realized, the neckerchief, I put it in my closet in the master bedroom because I have a special. It's called a wood badge neckerchief, which is set up from the Gilwell training for adults and stuff. Yeah, around here, up until the three biggest churches pulled out of Boy Scouts because of their DEI inclusion stuff for things. Anyways, they used to they have FFA, FH, they have all the stuff around here. Then they also have the rodeo club and stuff, and they had Scouts was big in the area, and they went it just went from huge troops everywhere to practically no troops. Yep, absolutely. And that's what that's all this thing here you see here is all done with lashings in this picture here. Let's go on here. And they're showing them how they lash to do a monkey bridge. And the troop and the varsity team that my youngest son was involved in, both were big on monkey bridges. Of course, we also did monkey bridges between two big, huge trees, and it was a contest to see who could bounce the other person off the monkey bridge. Yeah, there's the one that's more like the one thing, and they get a couple guys on there trying to bounce each other off the monkey bridge. Here's another example of rope work and knot work and lashings. Cargo nets. Making cargo nets, and the rigging on ships and stuff, all done with knots and lashings. And hang on, if you remember which one it is, Dead Man's Chest. Pirates of the Caribbean, Dead Man's Chest, number 3. After Jack got out of the ship and had the cannon blow the one mask in half, and they'd lashed it back together. You can see it later on, and near the end of it, here it is. It's lashed. The mast is lashed together with other round poles and boards on it to hold it together. Prepper 101 is in the house. All right, so yeah. There's the other type of cargo net, and yes, yeah, having fun in an obstacle course. But the cargo nets, I mean, you look at the lashing there. Granted, they got some metal structure work here on the end, but then have it all lashed together, going up and over the top, and yeah, a different type of cargo net lashing. Yeah, unless he identifies as the senior princess. Little known preppers in the house. Yeah, some showing all these are hand tied. So yeah, a lot of work here tying things together. Fishing nets, yeah. You see the fishermen out there in the movies and stuff. The old fishermen sitting there, repairing the fishing nets. Yeah, and fishing nets go back how many thousands of years? Now, if you're wondering about how to make rope, that's part of the Pioneering Merit Badge. Shows you how to take a machine like this and make rope, and also teaches you how to build a machine like this. Simple way to build a machine. And these plans are all over the internet, and you go to any Boy Scout site and they'll have stuff for you on it. Simple way to do it. A more intense way of doing it. The way this one's built, if you look in between the two upright boards there, they're like, wait a minute, they got rubber bands on there. and they made out of cardboard and something else. They made the thing to make their jig to do it. Kaylin Strain, hey, how's it doing? Tim Fergal, welcome. Let's see here. Yeah, and so yeah, they just run the spinner on it, and then it's a whole process to make it. And here's a big commercial version. Running the spinner and stuff, and tightening it up and spooling it up. Another commercial version, but yeah. So the pioneering merit badge and more. Let's see here. So I'm just going to, it's in here. You guys can go back and look at this later and stop it if you want to read, or I'll show you where you just go get this information here easier. And all the different things to earn the merit badge. So by yourself, build a trestle using square and diagonal lashings. Explain why trestles are used when constructing pioneering projects. So all these are how to do it. Now, here's something else. Macrame. My sister used to do macrame. What is macrame? Macrame is knots and knots and knots and knots. Oh, and let's stick a bead in here. And let's stick a bead over here. You can order macrame hammocks. Okay, question. No, they're not. They are the oldest one is old enough to start Cub Scouts. Not the oldest. Eli is the oldest one. He's not going to be in it because he can't focus on that stuff. He's so on the spectrum. Aiden is just about Aiden. Let me see. Double check the ages here. Aiden could be in. Aiden should be in Boy Scouts. Doesn't want to. Danny and Oliver, the youngest ones, they would like to do it, but the cost is prohibitive because they keep on jacking up. National keeps jacking stuff up, and then to pay their insane salaries to the guys that used to be volunteers. But however, my wife was a assistant scoutmaster. I was a scoutmaster. My wife is currently the committee chair for a troop. I was the assistant director for NYLT courses for scouting, and we may, when she comes up here, we may just put on a scout program for an unofficial scout program, teach all the stuff for our grandsons and maybe some of the neighbor kids too. Get together with parents that used to be scouts and say, hey, we don't want to have to pay $200 a year dues for it. And yeah. Let's see, go on this. Come on, let's go change page. Okay. See, you can do all sorts of things are made still by macrame today. And this is just the over vest over it. There's a macrame dress. We're talking several $100s for that. There she is tying and working it. Macrame belts were big long after the macrame craze, quote, died out from the 60s. So macrame belts into the 70s were still big. And they've made him commercial. Oh, my eyes. Ow, ow, ow. Yes, my older cousins, some of them actually wore that. We disowned them until they got rid of it. Never saw anybody wear them, locally in the 60s. However, we saw them on the news over at the University of California at I want to make sure I get it right, at Berkeley. Berkeley was a big haven for them wearing this. Yeah, macrame was a big thing, and books for the stuff. Here is the Pioneering Merit Badge pamphlet. Got to get correct. Pamphlet. The workbook is actually called the worksheets. But this is one of the old ones, and this is from Gilwell Park in England, which is the home of Boy Scouting worldwide. And there are some other books out there for projects and stuff to do weaving and stuff. I like the Celtic knots here down on the bottom right there. So there's a bunch of different ones you can get here. Splices and stuff. Sailor knots, yeah, very important to know. Macrame books. Actually, my mom and her cousins, and so I was in my 12, 11 years old. They were doing the beads, had kilns and were making the beads. And my second cousins, my mom's cousins' kids, were doing the macrame things and taking the beads and making these and selling them. So there's a lot of stuff you can do in that. I think, let me make sure that's the last one there. Yeah. Yeah, that's the last one there. However, before we get going here, I got bring up the web thing here for it. All right. If you Google Boy Scout knot book, this is what pops up. And here's what I think is ridiculous. I'm going to try it. All right, this one here. This is used on eBay, $4.99. Or you can go to the Boy Scout shop for $1.49 and get the book unused. And that's what it looks like, $1.49. You can buy it online, or you can go find where a store is nearby you and get it. We used to get these, a bunch of them at a time when we get new scouts coming in the fall. And right, start learning your knots. And of course, there's a lot of stuff online where you can find how to do knots and everything else, all the different type of knots and stuff. There are a bunch of videos on it, and so you can learn to do everything. Let me bring that up here. So the square knot, also called the reef knot, is very important. And let me go down here and show. Let me bring this other one up. Let's go back to that one. So basically, let me shift this around here. Boom. Ugh. I got rope for you guys. So all right, let me just go big myself. Square knot, right over left. Okay, right over left. Now left over right. And there's your square knot. Square knot has a neat thing. It looks like two, I can't remember two things, all right? And a square knot has both the tails on the same side. Now, I'm going to change this up on you and do this as a, all right. It's easier for me to do it the cheater way. So I'm just going to make the loop here, and with this one here, I'm going to go in up, around, and out. So, whoa, it looks just like a square knot, right? This is a thief's knot because the tails are on opposite ends. And the reason why this is called a thief's knot is sailors would tie their duffel bag with a square knot. If somebody thought somebody was getting into his bag stealing stuff, he'd tie a thief's knot on it. And so at night when the guys are going rummaging into someone else's bag, they're just going to go and they're going to untie it and they're going to go back. When they're all done, they're going to tie a they're just going to tie a square knot, not realizing that there was a thief's knot on there to begin with. Yes, and those you can get too. You can get the books. They have, let me go back here a page. Where is it here? This one here. Right there. You got the, Cabela's has this little, oh, hang on, let me put it back up here for you. Cabela's has the cards here showing how to do a bunch of the knots. Amazon has them. You know, REI has them. So you can get the outdoor knot things. And there's also just plastic trifold things that have a bunch of them on there too that are laminated. So on that there. I'm not bringing anybody up, so I'm going to get the earpiece out here. Okay. Now, one of the things that I would do when I was teaching the scouts tying knots was to get them to realize you tie knots with your hands, not your eyes. So I can go behind my back here and I can tie a square knot. Hopefully I'm doing it right. A square knot behind my back, out of sight where I can't see it. I got so good I used to do the bowline knot behind the back. Bowline knot. Yeah, come on. Twist it over, bring it around, down through, around, back up. I used to be able to do this. If I get it to do it right. Down through, around, over, up through. There we go. And do that behind my back. There's the bowline. Next one here, guys. I'm going to scoot back a little bit so I can do this right. So I got the rope. No knot in it. No knot in the rope, right? So I'm going to show you how to tie an overhand knot without letting go of the rope. So first of all, a simple overhand knot. You go like this, you let go, and that's the, that's the overhand knot. So, but, so without letting go of it, so to tie it, I have to go over, let go of it, run it around, let go of it, and bring it under. So to do it without doing it, you ready? You watching? I go over. I go around it. I go around in here. I get it up here like this, and there's the knot. Now I'm going to wait for the comments like, what the heck did he do? Take it over, under, get it up here. There's the knot. Tie ropes with your hands, not your eyes. Now, one of the things to do when you're doing roping, if you cut a rope, there's several ways to do it here. If you have the new stuff here with nylon stuff, you get a hot knife and you cut it. The hot knife melts everything together there and seals it so it doesn't go fraying all apart. Or you tie a hard knot on the end, or like we teach the boys, how to whip a rope. This is all loose up here, but it's whipped together. And the best thing to use is like a standard twine you get in, surveyor's twine, but you get the stuff that's waxed. Works a lot better. And I want in with my neckerchief is the woggle knots, and we used to make woggle knots all the time. And let me see. Let me go over here, back over here to this other side here. Bring it up. Okay, covered that one. Covered that. You can Google if you want to get the merit badge pamphlet for the thing. You can do it. And let me also go bring this one up here in the tab over there. I already had it open. Okay. So some troops put their the pamphlets online, and so you have your required ones, and you go down here alphabetically to pioneering merit badge right down here. We're going to click on it and see how this works, if they got theirs working right. Oh, they took it. Did they take all of them down? Yeah, they took them all down. Some troops take them down when they get done with it, or they go out. You used to be able to find on Google Docs all the current merit badges books as well in PDF format. All right, come on, let's go here. This is the workbook, what it looks like for people working on it to fill out. Tells them what they need to do, all the requirements. They fill it out. They explain things, and yeah, it's a fun thing there for that. So, but to you want to find that one, let's go up here to service project. See if that brings it in. Now, maybe it's only one. Maybe I put one too many on there. No. All right, let's do it a little bit differently here. It's being funny here. See if that brings it up. Yeah, oh, I forgot the U on the front. Sorry, it's USSSP, U.S. Scouting Service Project, and this is where all fun things scouting are. This is a resource. If you have a grandson or son or nephew or something in it, this is a resource you can use to help them out. And you go down here to merit badges, click on merit badges, and they'll list on the left-hand side here all the merit badges there are. There are a lot of merit badges. Shoot, I forget how many there are now. They've added a couple more. They've also, unfortunately, gotten rid of some. Pioneering right there. There's your pioneering pamphlet. And you click to see the revision, see what the revisions are. You can download the workbook either as a Word format or a PDF format, and you can do stuff like that. But knowing knots, I mean, truckers do a lot of fun stuff with the twists and turns on it, like they were doing a twist to put something under stress, and you put another twist on it, and you bring down on it and get to work here. So, and now it's got, yeah, I can get it didn't want to stay on me here. Because that's part of the problem. I don't have any tension on the one here. Get tension on it, it'll hold, and you can just break it loose. Trucker's hitch is one of the knots I learned right after I learned to square knot. Well, my dad used to do it, and with the trucker's hitch, running up and up, you run the rope over, hook it back up and down, make it like a cinch on it. You just cinch it down. It's kind of like a pulley without any pulleys. And I've cinched down stuff so hard I bent 8-inch class 300 pipe. I've crushed pallets. You get on and go, oh, whoops, too tight. But yeah, there's all sorts of things you do. The type of ropes you have, there are different ones. This is not a hollow cord. I'm not a core one. This is, you know, it's just all twisted together. This one here has a white core of rope. Then it has the outside one. The outside one, I'm not sure you can see how it flexes there. So you can do it just, you know, this is generally used as a boat dock because it's smoother and softer. This is a little bit coarser, but it's also, it's as far as the feel on it, but it's more flexible than this one is. Hemp rope, things I can do with hemp rope. But yeah, you can do all sorts of neat tricks with these. And I just had a brain fart again. I was going to show you how to do the handcuffs. There's one where you do it, and it's like you have someone put their hands in, you just go flip it on their hands, and they're in handcuffs. All righty, what else we got here? Froze for a second. But yeah, the first knot scouts learn is the right over left, left over right, square knot. In my troop and in a couple other troops I was involved with, the second knot they learned was to do a thief's knot, basically. And see, right or left. That turns into a granny knot. So basically, to do a thief's knot easy, just like I said, you just take the rope. So you got the tail on the top. You take the other one and you feed it through. Instead of going under, you go over and bring it back out. So it looks like one, but the tails are on the different sides here. Holds just as tight, but it's just a little different on it. So there are a lot of different knots, a lot of different things. When the guys were bringing down the trees out here, they were using some ropes to do things, and they'd use the ropes to haul the chains up for the cables to hook on, going modern with it. But even they're still using a lot of the different knots on it. One of the other merit badges, let me see if I can find it here. There it is. Go back here. All right, so you got the climbing merit badge. And what do we got there on the climbing merit badge? We got all sorts of ropes. And so you got the belaying, harnesses, knots, all the, the figure 8 on a bite, the figure 8 with a follow through, the water knot, the double fisherman's knot. Oh, I got to do that. Double fisherman's knot, also called the grapevine knot, the safety knot, all the different knots they got to learn. Someone wanted to know the difference between a square knot and a surgeon's knot. We'll cover that in just a second. So that's the climbing merit badge there. Let me check one other thing here while I bring it down. So yeah, they combine climbing with rappelling. They eliminate the rappelling merit badge. Okay, so difference between a square knot and a surgeon's knot. So basically right over left, okay, and then you bring it up to do the other for a square knot. Well, we're gonna do a little different here. We're gonna go over again. So you've gone over twice. You can do that, or a third time, which is well, a lot of them they'll go over a third time. Now you go over the top and pull it down in, and you work it back together tight. So there's your surgeon's knot. Basically got several wraps going around there on it. And that's what a lot of fishermen use, the surgeon's knot, to secure their fishing hook to the line. So, yeah. So, anyways, there are a lot of cool videos out there. I thought about doing videos back then. There's so many videos on tying knots. Hang on here. I bring this back up here. I'll show you. How to tie a bowline. And there's a video on it. And if you do this on YouTube, you're gonna have a whole bunch of different videos on it. And they walk you through and how to tie bowline knots. Yeah. So you can just go pick up whatever type of knot you want to learn. But probably the best thing to do is to go back and get that book there. It's $1.50. And if you can search for a scout shop near you, you probably drive by or close to one and don't realize it, and you can just pick one up. All right. Okay, I think any questions about knots and ropes and stuff like that? I might have skipped over. And I froze. So I'm waiting for anybody to comment they want to see more stuff on it there. That up there. Once again, got my rope. Go like this. Go under here. Go up here. Get my things up here, and there's my knot. Yes, the book does it has diagrams on how to do it. They'll have one diagram showing showing the ropes, showing it starting to cross over, showing it going under, and then showing up and showing going over and through, and showing like tying a knot. It'll show diagrams on how to do it. But yeah, that is that book is like I said, we used to give these out to the scouts, the new scouts coming in, before they even earned their tenderfoot. Like they come in, there you go, and get them to do it. Although if they came from a Cub Scout pack, they knew several of the knots already, and they just had to demonstrate the knots to us, which is really, really quick. What? Hang on, jumped in. Okay, so what knot would you use to tie copy paper box? You just want to tie, run around the box. Oh, hang on. Box. So 2 ways to tie this box. One is to just wrap it around it. If I can get it to work here right. It's going to work if I come back here. All right, so it depends what you want to do with it. If you want to carry it afterwards, trying to get this lined up right here on it. You got a lot of rope. You don't have twine. I ain't going to cut it here. So what you do is I would tie first. Come on. I would just go ahead and tie a square knot here. I can get it to stay cut here. Kind of hard to do it here. Get it to lock down here, right? Yeah. So once I have a square knot, if I want to get a little bit better on it, I could come up and tie another square knot up higher here, like this, and that'll give me something to carry it with, or I can put my arm through it to carry it that way, like that. What is a bowline knot best used for? That is you want to tie to something. Say like you're building a monkey bridge. On the one side where you're anchoring to, you tie the bowline knots to trees and run the rest of the rope out the other way, and then secure it off the other side with a top hitch on the other side to get it tight. And then you do your other ropes for that. But a bowline would basically, so that's not going to be tall. Hang on a minute here. Bowline would basically, I would run it around this here. This is a post or whatever. I would twist my twist it here, run it in, around, back out, and cinch it. And so it's cinched to it without being cinched again. And then on a post, you can move it then up and down, however you want to it. Sometimes they'll do a bowline on ships, and they'll have like a loop, and all they need to do is get it over the on the pier, the post on the pier, throw it over it, and then they secure it and cinch it with the taut line on board ship. But yeah, taut lines are so much of stuff. All right, now the other thing to do, I don't have enough rope to do this here. Let me get this out of the way. What if you don't want to tape boxes, or you have a box slip over on top of another box, what I usually would do is I would start on top, run it down underneath, and do a 90-degree turn on it. So basically, it comes, the rope would come over, down, they'd pass each other and go off the opposite way. So basically, you have one rope going around this way here, and the tails then come up over the end, and that's where you tie it and cinch it down in. And if it's just, that type of thing, it's just, something to do, work with on that, practice so you can get it right, and then practice so you can't get it wrong. Yeah, it's called muscle memory, and if you stop doing it, you forget. Like I practiced, doing the bowline here, but to do the bowline behind my back, it's been quite a few years since I've done a bowline behind my back. I've used bowlines, setting up fences and stuff and everything, but tying it behind my back is a different skill to learn. It's like I said, it's you go right behind me here, so I can't see it. Right over left, and then left over right, and keeping it down where I can't see it. And I got a square knot. And yes, tails are on the same end. The last thing I know, I put, what about tying your tennis shoes? Simple overhand knot into the bow. The rabbit goes around this way, goes back through the hole, and comes back out, and you got yourself. Well, I didn't have enough stuff here to do it, but yeah, didn't have enough tail on it, but yeah. Hey, my dad and my wife will tell you being left-handed is great for tying knots. It confuses everybody else. Oh, that was one knot I didn't get a chance to show you. Let me go over here and see if I can bring it up. All right, here we go. This is called the monkey fist knot. The boys would make it, and we have to make sure that they weren't using it for what they wanted to use it for. Boys are stupid. Boys and Boy Scouts are stupid. Hey, let's have a monkey fist knot fight, and they all make monkey fists. And they see who can bang each other till the first one gives up, runs out, and then they have to have the last one standing. Yeah, boys are stupid. They do that. But there's how you start off a monkey fist. There's one of a bigger rope. How to do it. But yeah. Oh, that was the other one I want to do was the show you. WOGG woggle knot. So that is a woggle. It's also called a never-ending knot. And usually we do it with 3 bands. I'll try to do it with 3 bands, not 2 bands. It's cooler with 3 bands. And that's what they use on the neckerchief for the slide for the neckerchiefs. And the metal slides is something that looks like that, but it's open on the back. But anyways, just to go back to the show this. And it's also called a Turk's head knot. But it was changed to woggle, so not to offend. And then I heard when the Turks heard about it, they were very offended that they changed the name of it. Oops. Anyways, all righty. So coming up here, Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound, if I can get it up over here, is the topic for Monday is clean out your freezer. We talked about last Monday about putting stuff in your freezer. Now we're talking about cleaning out your freezer, and talk about checking how to check the food and stuff, make sure it's good. What you're going to do with the stuff you put in there because you were too busy to can it. And so that's what we're going to be talking about that Monday on Camp Patton. Tuesday back here on Grayman Prepping is Tammy Harder suggested this one in an email, off-grid laundry. So we're going to be talking about that. Thursday night's the midnight ride. Next Friday is cheap stuff that does the job, and that was also recommended by one of the people in the chat here. Did I say hello to Moon Over Miami? Hi, Moon Over Miami, in case I forgot to say hi to you. I just saw his name up there again. So next Saturday here is it's been a couple of years since I've done this one, reality check, especially since we have a new and better leader for the country. We're going to be having a reality check of what things are going on, and some of the things we're going to be treading on water too, but we're just going to have a reality check in town. Basically, it's, calm down, people, have a reality check. So that's what we're doing next Saturday here on Survival Saturday. All right. Thank you all for coming in, and I hope you learned something. Hope it got you interested in doing knots again. And if you can figure out how I do the magic overhand knot without letting go of it, don't show anybody how to do it. And don't say, this is the way you do it, that's how it works. You just kind of do it. And if they figure out how it works, tell them they're sworn to secrecy. They can't teach it. They can just let someone decipher it. All right, everybody, take care, and I'll see you Monday on Camp Patton Family Compound.